Okay, so I'm going to show you around some repairs that I did to my 1991 Mercedes 300 SL AMG bumper. This is a Generation 1 AMG bumper. The body kit. Original. You can see I got it sanded down. There was some paint that was peeling when I got it. So I've got it all sanded down, and these were some previous repairs that someone else had done. Bondo. Looks like some sort of two-part urethane maybe they put there. This is a repair that I did. So what I did there's a hole. Had that cut out. I used some of this. This is excellent stuff. This is the 3M Super Fast Repair Adhesive by 3M. So you can get this trigger gun that loads that in. It's 2 parts urethane. It's the 04747. You connect this nozzle to it, and it mixes the 2 parts. You can see in there. 2 parts get mixed in pretty well, and then comes out. This is a single use. It doesn't last very long, as they said. It's super fast. So once you squeeze it, this thing is going to be disposable within a couple minutes. So you have to get quite a few of these before you get into any repair job. But what I did is I put some aluminum. I put the metal tape here on the outside, and then squeezed it from the back side. I'll show you that in a second. So you can see I basically just filled it in from the front. Just filled it up with the tape on the reverse side. Filled it up until it oozed out. And then I sanded that flush, so you can see. Kept the profile there on the front. And then I think this is just some Bondo, again from a previous repair. But then I used the same stuff. I used the same stuff here. I actually 3D printed these little brackets to emulate this. These were missing when I fixed it. Both sides. It's a 3D print ABS material, and I just glued them in. But actually, as you can see now, it's starting to separate on the front there, so I might need to add a little bit more of the glue, the 3M Super Fast. And here, what I did here is this was the welding. I used the Urethane Rod Weld. It basically heats the rod up to a high temperature, and then you kind of flow it in there. But there was some cracking going on there, and it stays pretty flexible. It also adheres to the substrate. Again, that was a previous repair, so I had to remove all that. This was completely cracked across here. This is sandable after you apply it. Sand it down to a contour, but being that it's on the back side, I didn't really see that that was necessary. Some more repairs. This was another broken item, these brackets on either side. What I did, there was a pretty big crack running across the front side. What I had to do is I had to Dremel that out. Then I filled it with the 3M Super Fast Adhesive. And what I did here is I just took a metal plate, 2 rivets, riveted that in there, across that crack. I didn't think that I was going to be able to repair that. This is under high tension, so if I didn't have a plate holding it together, this whole side would have pulled away. But then I've got the bracket in here, so then that goes on either side there. It actually connects right down there. So another thing that I had to fix was here for the bumper support. Again, I 3D printed this bracket, and then that 3M adhesive does a superb job of holding up, of attaching this bracket to the main bumper. Unfortunately, I got hit by somebody after I repaired this, and that was one of my 3D printed brackets that didn't really hold up, but the glue, of course, stayed. So that's pretty interesting. I'm gonna have to get a new one of those. Got another repair here. That was that same urethane rod that I used with the plastic welder. You feed it in and basically just dab it on, create a surface there. And that's held up pretty good. I mean, it's flexible. And then again, the other side bracket. This one was cracked right down the side in the middle here. So what I used there was actually a 2-part adhesive that you can get at any auto parts store. It's that black urethane. It's really what you want, because that's what this main bumper is it's a urethane. It's a thermoset, so you know it doesn't melt. When you try to melt it, it'll burn. And again, I just got some hardware in here. Keep that nice and attached. And that was mostly the extent of the damage. These brackets here, this crack there, the brackets, this hole, and then these tabs here to hold in the bumper support. What I'll have to get at next is just this crack here. What I'll do is I'll Dremel that out so it's a valley. Do that on both sides. And then fill it in here like I did here with the 3M material. This is great stuff. The 04747 super fast repair adhesive. Again, you're going to need more of those nozzles. You're not going to be able to get away with just one. This stuff cures in probably about 10 seconds. It's worked super hard. So these are pretty rare bumpers. You can't find them anymore. If you do, it's usually pulled off another car and people want a lot of money for them. So what I'll do next is I'll get those few cracks, new cracks repaired. I'll re-adhere these 3D printed brackets. Here's a better shot from the front. Came out nice. Basically, I just did some basic measurements of what was here and just try to replicate it. Try to peel out the paint here as much as I could. When I paint this, I don't want it to double up and basically fill in with paint. So you really want to get it down to the base metal. And you can see I've been driving with this. There's some road grime and bugs that I'll have to get off of there before I go anywhere with it. But I'll probably just spray it down with a sandable primer for now, because really with this urethane, it will deteriorate with the sun, with the UV rays. It'll deteriorate this plastic. I'm kind of concerned about that. I don't want it to get brittle and then just continue to break over the years. Try to get it nice and smooth, nice and flat. This was a tricky part here because I wanted to maintain this radius that comes in the front here. And then also these basically valley lines. Try to get my feet out of the photo here. But that's what you're working with. You can see the previous repair is starting to crack. This, whatever this Bondo is, I don't know if it was some sort of 2-part epoxy that maybe they used. That's the next thing is I'll go over this with another 3M product. It's a 2-part flexible epoxy. I'll have to grab that, edit that into this video here, because that's going to be an important part of smoothing all this out. And I'll do that before I put the sandable primer on, obviously. Gotta maintain those curves. That'll show up with paint. You don't want to get to that stage before you realize that you don't have it completely flat. These were really hard areas to get into. See these compound curves. And then here too, that crack came right around here. And you can see I was able to sand it to get that contour, which is great. Hopefully with the paint and primer, that'll all get hidden and it'll look nice and smooth. tow hook cover hole. Looks like someone had cut it out. I don't know if this was something that AMG did from the factory, but this isn't the same on all the other AMG Gen 1 bumpers that I've seen. Fog lights go here. I'll have to check that out. That's it for now. That's the setup for getting this relic repaired. Hope you enjoyed the banter, and hope I wasn't shooting in portrait mode too much. First of many videos to come. Thanks.